Now, I've been thinking about sort of love languages, what makes me feel love, and how do I express love to someone else in a way that they can receive it as love? Are they speaking my language? Am I speaking their language? And these are all complications when it comes to relationships, particularly, when we come to that sense of someone else and being able to love them unconditionally. Now, the 5 sort of common love languages, are quality time, physical affection, gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation. Now, God speaks all of these languages. The question is, are we hearing him? And are we able to speak those languages to others who may have a different need than we do? And I thought actually that my language of love was physical affection. And I thought that probably because I had lacked physical affection in my life from my father, and in previous relationships, I lacked that physical affection. So I thought I needed it because I never had it. But when I started to engage God in intimacy and experience unconditional love from him, that unconditional love from him was not physical affection in the same way. Now, of course, I've experienced, physical dimensions to his presence and felt him and felt intimacy in some that sort of way. But actually, it was quality time that really was the key for my relationship with God. I just wanted to spend time with him. I just wanted to be with him. And I didn't put an agenda on that. I left the agenda off the table. So I didn't have an expectation of what that quality time might be. So sometimes we could just be together and be quiet. Sometimes he'd be talking to me and sharing things. Sometimes he would take me and show me things. But I knew that being with him made me feel loved. It made me feel accepted, affirmed. It made me feel that he was affirming who I was, because God always has the time. He's never short of time. He's never too busy. He's never too busy with someone else because he's able to be with all of us all at the same time. So for me, I discovered actually now in my relationship, actually quality time is the thing that I really want the most. Now, physical affection is great. The rest of them are not really things that I particularly focus on. But for me now, actually in giving, and my focus now is on giving unconditional love, I'm discovering that I'm able to give all of those 5 languages, definitely quality time. I just want to be, but also acts of service and words of affirmation, gifts, and physical affection. I can actually do all those things because I think I'm discovering more of the unconditional nature of the love that God has for me, that then in sense, love one another as I have loved you, as Jesus said. Actually, now I am finding that it's much easier to love in that way, but it's not perfect in the way that sometimes I want quality time so much, and I perhaps might have sort of too much. And when I'm not getting it, I feel hurt, or I feel less than I should. And I've had to address my thinking and my feelings. And what is it? Am I jealous of somebody having time with other people or friends because I want them so much to be with me? And I had to address these issues because they were real. And sometimes I was thinking, actually, I'm not really like what I'm thinking right now. Actually, I need to look at what's going on. Now, sometimes it was just an overreaction because, I so desperately just love being in this relationship. But actually, I also discovered that maybe that I was putting conditions that were then affecting me. So I had to address and think about all these things. So it's been quite a challenge, but a good challenge in that I've discovered I'm able to love way more than I ever thought I possibly could. And I feel that is because God has loved me. But it is very, very important that we experience unconditional love, because that will really reveal to us what it is for us. And God knows exactly what we need. And therefore, he is able to speak our language and therefore affirm us in love. If we give him the time to do it, and we desire that and are willing to spend the time with him for him to be able to reveal that unconditional love to us.